hope 2025 is the boldest, most audacious year of your leadership journey. Leadership isn't just a title, it's a revolution. Hi, I'm Nkoyo Effiong Lewis, your guide through the real, raw, and relentless challenges of leading change in a world that often resists it. If you're a bold, audacious leader, tired of the status quo, and ready to make real impact, you're in the right place. This is the Leadership Revolt, where we disrupt outdated norms, reimagine what's possible, so we can lead with integrity, innovate ethically, and expand our impact exponentially. Are you ready to challenge the odds, embrace your power, and lead audaciously? Let's do this. Welcome back to the Leadership Revolt. I am over the moon. I actually can't even really believe that we are here at the end of the year. 2024 was absolutely quite a blur for me. A lot of things happened. I pushed myself in a lot of ways, and I imagine that many of you did. But I don't know that any of us could have anticipated that the year would have ended with an election, one of the most consequential elections of our lives that sort of have taken us down a path to a bit more chaos, confusion, uncertainty, and doubt. And so if you are listening in here today and you are leading change, you are an advocate for women and children and the marginalized, you believe in diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, justice, and that being something that this country should hold to as technology continues to advance, as globalization makes our borders even more open, and you are looking for, I won't even say hope, if you are looking for an anchor as we move into the beginning of the next 4 years that will likely challenge a lot of our beliefs, will cause us to question the sincerity of our neighbors, and will be disruptive, then I hope that this episode is for you, that it gives you a mooring, a place to hold to as we're moving forward. And I don't have a whole lot for you today. I gotta go get my hair did. So, but that's girl, that's popping. Okay, anyway. But I wanted to leave you with 3 things that I hope that you will take with you, that you will pack in your bag for 2025 for what this journey will be. And I always want to start us back at the foundation, right? That bold, audacious leadership is a mindset first. You have to believe in the audacity of your dreams. You have to hold hope when there is no hope around you. You have to keep walking when it looks utterly insane, chaotic, foolish to do. And that is the only way that we're going to get to the place where we have transformative leadership initiatives, that we have the types of organizations that we don't just feel comfortable in, but we feel like are a part of our fabric, that we have a voice, and that we're extending that to others. And I'm speaking to you today as a leader. I am calling in and speaking up to the leader that you are. And you know that if you've been in the Leadership Revolt, if you've been in any of my platforms, you know Nkoyo is all about everybody being a leader and that you can lead at any level. I was just reading this Harvard Business Review. Oh, no, maybe it was in Philanthropy, Nonprofit Quarterly or something like that, where they're talking about leadership is both a noun and a verb, right? It is a title that some people hold. It is also a thing that we do. It is a way that we show up. It is a consistency that we have with our values and the way that we express those around. It is the way that we create a pathway for others. It is the way that we hold ourselves accountable to being the individuals that we have said we are, and we demonstrate that throughout the work that we do. And so, speaking to the leader in you, I want to first remind you, instill in you that rest is not a luxury. It is absolutely required. It is a part of the resistance to all the things that we are going to encounter in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, who knows how long. And so I want to make sure that you are entering into 2025 with a spirit and a culture of rest, that you have already embedded into your calendar points in time where you're going to step back and reflect and recharge and prepare yourself to jump back in when you're ready. And so I want to make sure that the foundation of all the things that we do is rooted in rest as our resistance, as our opportunity to recharge, as the way that we feel back ourselves, because we will be stretched as we move through 2025. If you are leading change, if you are advocating for women and children, if you are advocating even simply for yourself and your right to exist and be, you will be challenged this year. And I hope that if nothing else, that you will make sure that rest is the foundation of all the things that you do. Second, and I have been saying this all over social media, we have got to get into community. Nobody is going to survive this next chapter of disruption and chaos and uncertainty and doubt and fear and all the tactics that are coming along with it without a community. And these are communities that might exist online to the extent that that remains a safe place to be. But I also encourage you to find communities that are in real life, where you can gather with other like-minded individuals and be reminded that you are not insane, that you are not crazy, that there is hope, that there is joy, that all of these things still exist. You know, we are, as human beings, Homo sapiens, we are actually built to be in community. And this whole idea of rugged individualism, everybody out for themselves, is killing us. We're seeing that with all of this new metrics that are coming out around mental health, around the crisis of loneliness and isolation that we really saw tick up during the pandemic. And so I highly, highly encourage you to get into community. And if you've been following, you know that we're building community over here at Ibani Song Solutions. We are building that in as fabric of the collective. It is at the basis and the root of Impact Guard, of all of the services that we are creating. There is community, because we know that nobody is going to survive this well alone. And so not only do I want you to make sure that rest is part of your resistance, that it is the bedrock of your strategy, but that community is also included in that, and making sure that you are growing alongside other people so that there are folks to carry the weight, right? They say many hands makes work light. I probably messed that thing up completely, but we need to be in spaces where there are many hands moving together, where you have people to lean on, where you have folks to bounce ideas off of, where you have space to just laugh and have joy in the midst of everything that is going on. Because as humans, we need that and we deserve that. The third thing that I hope that you will carry with you into 2025 is clarity. You know, they say clarity is kind, and being clear with yourself about your own boundaries, being clear with your funders, your team about boundaries and the work that you are doing and that you're not doing, being clear with yourself about when you will respond. I was sharing with my husband that I believe that the nonviolent movement of our era is a psychological movement, whereas those fighting in the civil rights movement in the 1960s, et cetera, had to steady themselves for physical violence. I think that we have to steady ourselves against the psychological, verbal violence that we're seeing all over social media, that we're seeing in the news, that was absolutely part of the rhetoric of this campaign. And so I have shared with him, you know, I'm a former fourth grade teacher, and one of the strategies that we used to have when we were confronted with misbehavior was planned ignoring. If you know that something is attention seeking, if you know somebody's trolling you, to not feed the juice, because they're always going to keep going. And that sometimes the best thing that you can do is ignore. My homegirl likes to say, be blocked and be blessed, and then hit that button as quickly as you can to save your own mental and emotional well-being, but to also know that the fight is to have us distracted in arguments that have nothing to do with actual progress. It is to throw all kinds of chaos our way so that we are beaten down and don't choose to resist because it just feels so overwhelming. So I want you to have clarity around the things that are going to gather your attention and the things that you will not allow to derail you from the joy, the peace, the rest, and the purpose that you have in this season. So in addition to rest, in addition to community, in addition to clarity, I hope that you enter into 2025 with the conviction to do what you have been destined to do, to not let any of these things that are around us distract us from the very purpose that we have for being, that our organizations have for being, from the joy, the hope, the success, the abundance that is still available, that's been available in any economy, and our collective ability to share that with our communities as leaders, as people who are impacting social change, who are leading that, who want to make sure that the world is a better place for everyone, and that we're leaving it better than we found it. And so I hope that you maintain your conviction and that you don't allow the chaos that will ensue to push you off your rocker and lead you to have less of a positive belief about the ultimate goals and things that are available to you in this season. And last, I know I said 3, but I think I did 5. So we have rest, we've got community, I got hope for you to carry clarity, I hope for you to carry conviction. And number 5, I hope that above all of these things, that you walk into 2025 and beyond with the courage to believe that great things are still possible, to pursue the things that you believe are right, to advance the vision and the mission that you have set out to do, and to do that with all of the joy and the hope and the resilience and the resistance that your body can bear. And I hope, again, that with that courage, you share it with others, that other people can borrow your belief in order to do the courageous thing and the correct thing in this season. And so as you get ready to enter into 2025, I hope that this is a moment of time where you get to really go inward and understand for yourself what you value most, that you make your choices based on the things that you need, that your community needs, and that you desire to see in the world, and that we walk by faith and not by fear. And with that, I hope that you have an incredible new year. Thank you for rocking with me as I've been on this journey leading this podcast, and I cannot wait to further engage with you in 2025 about what it means to lead audaciously, to have this leadership revolt. So we make sure that the world ultimately looks the way that we want it to be, and that we ensure that that moral arc of the universe does in fact bend towards justice. Be well. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Leadership Revolt. Remember, leadership isn't about following the rules. It's about rewriting them with audacity, purpose, and integrity. If this episode sparks something for you, share it with another bold leader ready to disrupt the status quo. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review so we can keep building this movement together. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and go lead audaciously. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week. I'm rooting for you.